Getting a lot of updates now, too. Two Will Hardo says he worked in prison at one point. He was a guard, and he says there were no CPAPs in prison when he worked there.
Yeah, I believe it.
And no inmates dying in their sleep. He says those things are not keeping people from dying in their sleep. He thinks we've been hoodwinked. He's been hoodooed here by the by big CPAP.
By big sleep.
By big sleep. They got us. So he says.
Yeah, I'll have to go against him on that one.
Yeah.
Did Hardo mention anything about electrical outlets in cells?
Didn't say. Did not. He just.
I do understand not having them in there because the machine itself you could use as a weapon, not just the cords. I mean, you could pick that up and bash someone's head with that.
Rusty Fact Checker says it was not a glow stick that landed on Steve Perry back in whenever. Apparently in 2022, we discussed this. It was a pewter bracelet. Who, according to a caller named Mike, whose friend,
did he say he was with
his
guy?
Friend threw the pewter bracelet onto the stage and hit Steve Perry. This happened, let me see, we can't get very exact. April 19th, 2022 was when the call at 6:31 a.m. is when this came in.
Oh my gosh.
It was not
a glow stick.
A glow stick. It was a pewter bracelet. Don says, is it me or do a lot of country singers sound the same? I don't hear it.
Oh, you're talking about Riley Green.
Talking about Riley Green, who says he wishes Grandpa's never die. And to me, there was that old country song. Was it David Allan Coe who said, I'm going to write the perfect country song and have Train and Mama and all that? Well, to me, this is the second most part. High school football and dipping skull and
fishing and trucks and beers.
And beer and Bud Light.
I can't believe I'm doing this, but I want to know a little bit more about Riley Green. And it turns out that he himself co-wrote the song, which is somewhat unusual. I mean, a lot of times country songs are written by other people. But the other two, there are three songwriters listed on I Wish Grandpa's Never Died. One is Riley Green.
Yep.
The other two.
Yes.
Are his grandpas.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is it's even better. It's even better than we thought it would be.
Every road was named Copperhead, and coolers never run out of cold Bud Light.
Good God.
I didn't realize this because I'd never heard it before today.
Me neither.
But the song came out in 2019. And at that time, some country radio stations didn't play it because one of the original lines in the song is, I wish country music still got played on country radio.
Yeah, we have that. We were talking a minute ago, but
Grandpa's never died.
woo! Yeah. What does he mean by that? Does he mean it's like bro country now?
Yeah,
It's too poppy.
Yeah, he's thinking he's aiming at bro country. And pop country.
Well, he went there.
So now he changed it to, I wish George Jones still got played on country radio.
Here's a line right here in this part.
Wish the first time 17 she was my everything.
17-year-old first kiss.
Could happen every day.
I think this is the radio line is coming up.
I wish everybody overseas was gonna make it home. I wish country music still got played on country radio.
That's the second slap in the face to radio today. One in a tribute to Chris Demm, second in a tribute to Grandpas everywhere, and yet radio is right in the crosshairs as usual. You know. Boy, is somebody getting out at the right time or what? This radio, I don't know.
Ground's moving under my feet.
That's right. Dr. Ed is on. He's talking about CPAPs in prison. Tu El Hardo says no such thing when he was working in prisons. Dr. Ed, what do you know about this?
Well, that must have been a long time ago because there's CPAPs all over the place.
There are. Okay, you've seen them.
Yeah, Hardo's moved on.
Yeah,
that's not his job now.
That's right. Maybe it's because they thought it was cruel and unusual to have all that, to have all the snoring and backup and all that.
In the cell blocks.
In the cell blocks, exactly. So I guess they do have outlets then because they have lamps in the cells as well, right?
Well, most of the prisons are not really single cells. They're dormitory style housing where, you're on a bunk. You're on either. Everybody wants the bottom bunk. They whine and cry about wanting the. They all want the bottom bunk. They won't have to climb up to the top bunk.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Dr. Ed's inside, man.
He is. He knows. Thank you, Dr. Ed. Always good to hear from you. Thanks very much.
You know, he came up to what? We saw him on one of the comedy stops.
At the motorcycle.
That's right. That's right.
Cox's Harley Davidson. Yeah, he was there. Wishing you well, of course. You know,
a gentleman.
When I went to Sleepaway Camp with my best good friend, one of them. Now, again, this was nothing out of the ordinary. We're 53-year-old men going to
a movie set.
Friday the 13th movie set where it was filmed in 1980. And we all had to sleep, about 10 men in the same bunch of bunks inside the cabin. Alice's cabin, by the way, final girl.
Yeah. Now, were these like cots, or were there actual upper and lower bunks?
Cots.
Okay, so everybody's on floor level.
Yes, and it was the mattress was thin and just not
like military issue.
Yeah, not comfortable at all, really. But we didn't care. We having the time of our lives up there.
Yeah, of course. What a great way to make money. Convince these middle-aged men to pay top dollar to come sleep on the worst conditions possible.
Well,
and then look the other way when they pull the drugs out of their buttholes.
Yeah. Right.
And there's no drugs here at Camp Run Amok. What's it called? Camp Blood?
It's Camp Blood. Camp Crystal Lake.
Camp Crystal Lake. Thank you. Sorry. Crystal Lake.
But they renamed it Camp Blood because, all the murders.
All the murders.
By the way, Bob, your friend who was in yesterday, since childhood, I have a Jason hockey mask hanging up in the office.
Completely normal.
And
not just
a.
It's signed.
It's signed by the original Jason, the boy who jumps out of the water in part 1. That's where we stayed. In that water is where he jumped out.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bob said, man, that's weird, man. You got a hockey mask. I said, yes. And we have the Friday the 13th birdhouse in here as well with maniacal serial killer Jason Voorhees standing out front of it. Well, Bob said he never got, even though he loves horror movies, he never got into the slasher movies because those teens never did anything to anybody. They were just like poor innocent victims. And he felt for them because they were butchered by Jason or Michael Myers or whoever it might be. Chris Demm correctly pointed out they were drugging and drinking and sexing.
Yeah.
Which is why I always made it through just fine. No problems here and never worried about it. And Bob started calling me Final Boy, which is, I guess, that's exactly right. I would have made it. I would have made it through a Friday the 13th. Point is, when we went up to Sleepaway Camp, they gave us all earplugs because of all the snoring and farting and snorting.
And CPAPs that were brought along there.
Yeah. Boy, you talk about loud machinery and those.
I don't have the right outlet for this.
We have an adapter.
Well, that was the thing, too. It was primitive, quite primitive.